we think about property management as it is today, one of the kind of interesting things that we see going on is a really significant shift towards a greater focus on customer experience, first and foremost. And I think that's a really positive thing, a greater focus on the experience tenants have, an agency starting to provide more value to the landlord that own those homes. Some of that is now feeding into how they might diversify as well. So historically, they've been singularly focused on generating money from their rentals from management fees, and then increasingly they're starting to think about how they might generate revenue outside of that as those fees come under more and more pressure. So a mix of both stronger focus on customer experience, then also diversification of revenue as well, which I think is really important.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, Scott. And I think, when we look at a lot of our clients that we're helping with finance, we see a lot of people purchasing investment properties, and they want to have, a property management ecosystem or partner that is basically, or a property manager that allows them to manage their property more efficiently, utilize and leverage technology. We're seeing a big shift towards, more digitally enabled property management. And also for, property management businesses and real estate agencies, they really want to offer their customers a full suite of products, but they want to do it under one roof. They don't want to do it in a fragmented fashion. So, I think, when we look at Kolmeo, for example, the ability to bring all of those services under one roof in an aggregated sort of fashions is really interesting. And we see that as the future of property management.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting that I think a lot of businesses have got to this point now where they see the opportunity, they're just not sure how to pursue it. And it's that question of if there's a thing to be done, are we the best people to do it, or does partnering make sense? And I think the beauty of the Kolmeo proposition is that our job is to find the best partners like LendUs, bring that together into a single cohesive experience, and then enable that through the agency rather than trying to go up and build a whole bunch of technology themselves.
Yeah, no, and for us as LendUs as well, we know that property managers and the property management businesses, they know their clients best, and they've got a really strong relationship with their clients. So the ability for us to partner with Kolmeo and also kind of trailing into this sort of tailwind of the market dynamics, which is bringing all of these services under one roof in a digitally enabled fashion, is a really important part of our strategy, because we want to be part of that advancement in technology and digitization of property management.
Kolmeo Plus, we've really launched it to achieve two things. The first is to meet the needs of tenants now and in the future. And when I say that, I don't just mean, the everyday stuff like maintenance and all those things. We're sort of thinking beyond that now, and we're saying, if people are going to rent for longer or only ever rent, which for a lot of people, that's the reality, how do we make that experience such a rich and rewarding one for people that you don't really feel like missing out if you can't go and get a mortgage? So the first part of Kolmeo Plus is to connect people with services in really simple, easy ways so that the experience is a better one. Separately for the agency, we've seen a bit like the chat we were having a moment ago, there's all these opportunities for them to do things, differentiate and create the revenue. The problem is it becomes really complex to actually manage all of those partnerships when you're a small business. Separately, they don't have the money to invest building a technology-first proposition to do it. So said, let's build a great experience for the tenant. Then importantly, let's find a way to digitize this whole thing for the property management business so they can make money at scale without trying to manage a whole bunch of different relationships. I'm going to say to LendUs is the big opportunity. Look, I think it is though, because at the end of the day, the mortgage is the most consequential decision the landlord makes. And we sort of say often, picking a great property manager is one of the best choices you would make. But the company you use for your mortgage is just as key, because that interest rate saving compound over the life of the loan, it's material sums of money. And in fact, I'd argue making a poor choice on your mortgage provider can create such a disproportionate gap over time that all of that yield you were chasing through years of owning this high-risk asset is just, it's for nothing, it's gone.
100%. I mean, and the other thing as well is that those savings that people can make out of getting a better deal on their home loan can actually be put towards buying another property and increasing and growing their portfolio property as well.
It's interesting when we look at, there's a lot of pressure on agencies around management fees at the moment. They're all very competitive. And one of the chats you've been having with some of our customers in the lead up to this partnership is when you start to think about what a landlord might get as the cashback through the LendUs proposition, any gap that you might have had to the higher management fee could well be offset by that kickback. So it becomes part of that real strong sort of value proposition they take to market as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's why we're doing it.
So exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, so, when we founded LendUs, we looked at the mortgage market and we thought, for most Australians that own a property or are looking to purchase a property and enter the property market, the home loan is the most expensive or the largest generally outgoing for those households. And we also looked at the experience that people have in accessing finance for property purchases or getting a better deal on their home loan. And we thought that was quite archaic, clunky, very human-driven, and it can take, in some cases, many weeks or months to get to a solution. And many other industries have been able to leverage technology and really provide people and consumers with empowerment and information and data that allows them to access better deals or more suitable products. But we felt as though the home loan market in Australia no one had really hit that nail on the head. And we thought that there was an opportunity for us to really, create a unique and differentiated product for consumers, but also for partners like property management businesses and agencies that have large ecosystems of customers. So we built LendUs as a partner purpose-built platform. So we are purpose-built for partners such as property managers of real estate agencies. And we have three very distinct value proposition pillars. The first is that we had a wide-ranging lender panel of the 30 plus lenders. That means that, gone are the days of people going into their bank and only, getting one bank's products. They're able to do a full scan, and we make sure transparently and independently they get the best and most suitable product out of all of those products that are available in the market. The second is that we've created a really streamlined, market-leading, new generation digital flow for people. So, a lot of people are doing the home loan search, the refinance search. They want to see how much they can borrow to purchase their first property. They're doing it on a weekend. They're doing it after hours. They're doing it in their own time. And we thought we need to empower those people with data and information that allows them to get real-time answers at those times without having to speak to someone. So with the LendUs product, we built a proprietary loan qualification engine that gives our customers a real-time view of the products that potentially suit their needs in the market. And then we've got an application preparation flow that supports the customer to building up an application so that one of our LendUs advisors, and we've got a team of in-house advisors, is able to do an assessment to understand the needs and requirements of a customer to lodge an application to a suitable lender. And the idea there is really that people are able to dial up or dial down that level of support. And then finally is the LendUs cashback. So, with LendUs, one of the major points of difference is our cashback offer. With LendUs, a customer will earn an upfront and a trailing cashback. And that's just one of the ways that we're helping people pay down their loan faster or improve their monthly budget. So we think that that's quite a unique proposition. And, so far in the market with partners, we're seeing, incredible traction, and it's resonating really strongly.
Dan, one of the things that I was sort of blown away by when I saw your product, the user experience and the flow is just market leading. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. The part that really caught my attention though was the attention to detail around how easy it is to bring one of those advisors into the flow. And I remember sitting with you, and the first time I saw the product, I'm like, the software's great, but my fear here is that it's great only if it's a really easy vanilla deal. And as we know, most loans, particularly investment loans, it's not the case. you want to just explain the rationale behind being able to bring the advisor?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we appreciate, as I said to you, I think the first time we met, Scott, that, the home loan for most households, it's not like buying a pair of jeans online. It's a really, really big decision. And therefore, we want to give people the ability to dial up or dial down the level of support. The other thing as well is that people have different levels of complexity in terms of their financial situation. As you mentioned, self-employed, some people may have companies and trusts, investment properties, that can be quite complex. And also people have different levels of financial sophistication. So at LendUs, we've got an in-house team of qualified mortgage advisors. They are qualified mortgage brokers with many years of experience. And the idea is that through the LendUs platform, when you create an account, you get assigned a dedicated advisor that is on demand and on tap for you to use, and they will engage with you and support you through the journey. So we have some customers that go through the whole flow without needing an advisor. And just at the end, the advisor does the assessment. We do all of our compliance requirements under legislation. And then we find them a suitable product for their needs. On the other hand, we have some people and some customers that require a really tailored, bespoke, supported experience where the advisor is doing all of the work and really taking it from just initial qualification through to loan settlement. So the idea with LendUs was to be able to take a sort of bespoke approach to people's needs and not a one-size-fits-all approach.
I think the main thing we sort of focus on with agencies is that for the first time, they can offer a really complete proposition to their landlords. In many cases, they want to build a broking arm, or they contemplate, should I employ a full-time lender? Should I enter some kind of referral model where I just send leads off to people and, you never know what you're going to get. What I love about this is for the first time, they get all the upside, all the benefit of being able to offer a great experience to their customer. They've got a unique part of the vote opposition here in terms of the cashback, which I think is important in terms of you pay a loan down quickly. But you don't have any of the overhead. You don't need to find the team. You don't need to build the tech. All of that is done for you through this partnership. So I think it is really one of those rare cases where it is the best of both worlds. Great proposition and then incredible technology without the agency needing the overhead of huge tech teams or a broking team as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why we built LendUs. As I said before, we were purpose-built for partnerships, and we felt like there are a lot of businesses out there and professionals out there that are looking to offer their customers a home loan service. They want something that's digitally enabled and new generation, but they don't want to have to take on the responsibility or the cost of doing it themselves. So I think that's a real tangible benefit for property managers and agencies.
Yeah, great. So for tenants and landlords, we've tried to make this incredibly simple. So as they log into their experience, and they're doing things like paying rent or checking statements, whatever it may be, we make it really simple to see quite clearly where the relationship sits. We then enable them to click on that button, immediately sort of interact with you guys through the portal and kick off that experience. Over time, we'll look to make that more integrated and more seamless and frictionless as well. And then increasingly look at how we can use the data that we've got in the system to kind of help them self-complete some of that process and sort of take some of the steps out as well.
Yeah. And I think, coming back to the LendUs offering in that sense, we feel as though that loan qualification flow, which the integration that we've done between Kolmeo Plus and LendUs leads customers and users right into, allows people to get those answers, of an evening, on a weekend, after hours, so that they are empowered with that data straight away, rather than having to wait to speak to someone or make an appointment.
Which is key too, because if the investor is looking not so much to refinance, but to get finance for another purchase, that immediacy may be the thing that helps them bid with confidence at the auction that weekend, yet they may not be getting elsewhere, which I think is enormously tough.
Well, we see that all the time, Scott. I mean, we've had customers that come to us where they they're looking to purchase a property the next day or the day after, or they've already purchased a property and they now need finance. So, I think the ability for us to, process applications at speed and provide people with on-demand service is really a point of difference, aside from the cashback and the choice that someone will get through the platform.
And I think, we were sort of chatting off camera earlier. You were talking about the testimonial with DRC from that lady where she was talking about logging in, just sort of kicking the tires, no real intention to go ahead. It was so easy and so frictionless. She found herself almost just kind of falling into it.
Yeah.
To the steps.
And she, in her testimonial, she said there that she, she was a bit skeptical at the beginning.
Yep.
But she just kind of went along with the process because it was easy. And before she knew it, she had the support of one of our advisors. And within, I think it was a matter of a day or two, she had her application lodged, and I think even conditionally approved. So I think it's quite unique the way that we built the user experience. It's really sort of, it supports the customer through the journey. It guides them through the journey. It's very frictionless, but they do have that person there to support them if it is required, which is very important. I agree.
So one of the biggest challenges for all agencies right now is that real estate, unfortunately, has fallen into this kind of intense price competition because it's so hard to actually differentiate. We know, a lot of them that are trying to grow because the asset has enormous value if they can do so, but it's incredibly difficult to stand out from the crowd in such a, homogenous kind of market. One of the things I love about this is that it's such a clear and immediate point of difference, because unless the agency is on Kolmeo, powered by Kolmeo Plus, which means they get access to something like LendUs, that landlord would not have access to that through any other agency. So the cashback benefits, the ease of finance benefits, the integration into Kolmeo Plus is a really important way that agencies that are on this can stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. And at the moment when, cost of living is expensive, everyone's looking to save every dollar. We're finding a lot of our customers that are benefiting from that cashback, they're able to, put that towards other things in their life, whether that's something that's, more for leisure, like a holiday, for example, or investments, further investment, or to pay down that debt. So it really is, it empowers people to have the optionality with, with what they want to do with those funds, actually. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I think what we're really seeing as sort of the future of fintech or home loan mortgage tech is putting the power in the hands of the consumer, whether it is on their couch or on the side of their kids footy game, not necessarily in a mortgage broker's office or in a bank branch, right? So tools and technology that facilitates that is really, we think, the future. We've made a big investment into data and analytics. Our platform leverages big data and analytics to make sure that we're matching customers with really suitable loan products that are up to date. We get a daily sync of data from all the lenders out in the market, which makes sure that it's all up-to-date data and that the person and the user is going to get the best or most suitable product from all those lenders, which is really important. The other thing as well is AI. So as we were talking about a bit before, when we thought, AI in every industry is changing the way that businesses work and that customers customer experience. So we are implementing and we have implemented AI solutions that allow people to streamline their journey towards a point of being able to make a decision on what loan they want to go with, and also allow them to really prepare their application with speed. So traditionally, when people go to a bank or a traditional mortgage broker, there is a lot of paperwork that's flying around, fragmented emails, and conversations that are happening sort of, all over the show. We're bringing that all into one place and we're streamlining that whole process, which means that we're taking the pain out of it, and leveraging data and AI is really important. So that's sort of the first thing. And then the second thing is that we're seeing that people want choice. 80% of the mortgage flows in Australia are written through mortgage brokers or introducers. We view LendUs as a new generation mortgage broker, enabled by technology, and we think that trend will continue, where customers will want choice and they'll want to be empowered by choice. And then finally, the cashback. Mortgage brokers earn very handsome commissions. Those are upfront and trail commissions for the work that they do, and mortgage brokers do a great job for their clients. But we felt as though, we really wanted to be a pioneer and a leader in sharing some of those economics with customers, because that's really what matters to them is the savings that they're going to get out of their mortgage, and we can contribute to that through the cashback.
I agree. I think the other thing that really strikes me with where things are headed next, irrespective of industry, is this notion of hyper-personalization and some level of prediction. We've all got so much data in so many places nowadays. We're expecting that businesses know us personally and intimately, and as a consequence are thinking for us in terms of the products and services that might be really valuable, save us time, save us money, make life easier. And I think the benefit of a relationship like this is the opportunity to start really shaping that for consumers, because the more that we can look at what data is held, massively simplify the process and get them to those cashbacks and awards, even the bit which things great.
Yeah, and the other point that I just may add is around, sort of beyond the initial loan settlement. So traditionally, when customers have gone to a bank or they've gone, direct to a lender, the lender doesn't come to them and say, hey, interest rates have moved around, there's a better deal out there for you. It just doesn't happen. Believe it or not, we wish it would. Believe it or not, it doesn't, right? And mortgage brokers, they do their best to do that. And a lot of mortgage brokers do a fantastic job in doing that. But they run, small businesses, they've got small teams, and therefore they're limited by in terms of their capacity and their ability to service clients. What we've built is the ability for a customer to always be sure that they're on the most suitable home loan for their needs and the most cost-effective home loan, out there. And through our loan qualification engine, that means for agencies and property managers that use Kolmeo and Kolmeo Plus, their clients that get a home loan through LendUs, not only will the initial settlement or home loan be a really good deal, we will actually make sure 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the line that the customer is getting a home loan health check, which makes sure that they're always on the best and most suited product. And that's automated and data-driven. And because we've got a data-driven platform with that qualification engine that has a daily sync of lender data and products, we're able to power that experience for customers, which means for agencies that use Kolmeo Plus and property managers, they don't have to worry about their customers, potentially churning out of that ecosystem to another lender.
Yeah.
We tag that customer as introduced to us by the agency or the property manager. And therefore, we are committed, and through our data-driven home loan health check and platform, committed to servicing that client's needs proactively as opposed to reactively. I'd say, yeah.
So I think if we come back to the two things that we set out to do with Kolmeo Plus, this idea of transform the experience people have and fundamentally change the economics for the real estate business, I think this is such an important part of that sort of piece and part of that puzzle. Our view has always been that we want to build a system that is constantly paying attention to how people behave and what they do, so that we can keep working through what we might be able to do to make life really easy, frictionless, predictive, etc. And I think the thing I really love about this partnership and what we're building is it's not just an upfront benefit. It's not just the trail benefit. It's through some of what you've just spoken about. You're also kind of constantly checking in and saying, well, it was a great deal then. Is it still the best deal? And that lives with the person throughout the life of the experience. What we're doing with Kolmeo Plus is this ever-expanding proposition where it includes everyday solutions, the type of someone to come and clean the home or repair the roof, whatever it may be, right through to, what does my financial health look like? What does that financial picture look like? So I'm so excited about what this will be, not just because of what's there at the start, but then over time, what's possible and what they can come as well.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. I think, fundamentally, when I look at LendUs and Kolmeo, they are both customer-first businesses. They've been purpose-built for the end customer and users, and they're data-driven and technology-driven. So that enables efficiency and a really seamless experience. So there's massive alignment there, and I think we kind of, the first time we met, we kind of saw that. Yeah, great.